Thank you for tuning in to the Delaware Blogger Podcast. This is a weekly show that provides podcasting pointers and tips that will help you to start a show or even grow your existing one. I'm your host, Antoinette Blake, a social media diva and podcast host, not only on this podcast, but also on Out and About with Antoinette, where I have an opportunity to interview some amazing people from in and around the state of Delaware that are doing positive things in their communities. And you can take a listen to those episodes every Wednesday at 1 p.m. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing tips that will hopefully assist you in your podcasting journey. And I invite you to subscribe and review so you don't miss anything. Now, if there's some topics that you want me to cover, please send an email to info@ablakeenterprises.com. And this podcast is sponsored by Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio.
Are you ready to join the billion-dollar podcasting industry? If so, Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio is ready for you. Whether you're just starting out and have no equipment, or you're a seasoned pro but need help with production, Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio has everything you need. Conveniently located in Middletown, Delaware, Blake's state-of-the-art production facilities make producing your first or 100th podcast a breeze. No matter what kind of project you have in mind, the professionals at Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio can help with your production or give you the tools to produce it on your own. At the heart of Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio is award-winning blogger, vlogger, and CEO Antoinette Blake, and her goal is simple: to help one more entrepreneur be successful. So stop making excuses and start making your podcast, audiobook, e-course, and other online dreams come true. Call Blake's Booth Podcasting Studio now. 302-261-3530. That's 302-261-3530.
Welcome to episode 326. And today we're going to talk about using your podcast for brand promotion. Yes, last week we talked about promotion and sponsorships, how you can get, those sponsorships or become a brand ambassador or make an affiliate, income. But today we're going to talk more about using your podcast for brand promotion. And what you need to always do is choose a topic or a niche that is relevant to your target market audience. Who are you trying to reach? It should be relevant to who you're trying to reach, not someone else. Imposter syndrome is real. Are you solving a pain point? Is your podcast entertaining, educational, motivational, inspirational? What is it that you are trying to do week after week, month after month, year after year? And whatever that topic or niche is, those are the people that you're going to be talking to. You cannot get everyone. So brand yourself. What is it that you want to be known for? When you're doing that, you're actually positioning yourself as an expert. Yep, as a guru, even though, again, imposter syndrome is real. But you are sharing free content. So you're setting yourself up as being an authority in that topic that you've chosen or that niche. And people are going to look at you as being an authority. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent with your content so that people know they can come to you when they have a question about or if they need something. Again, you are positioning yourself as an expert. That's what this podcast is doing for you. And while you're doing this, you are building trust with your audience. There's something more human and personable about listening to someone else's voice. It's more intimate. You can hear the tone and the inflection of that voice. The person seems a little bit more honest. That's why we like human voices. AI is fine. Those bots are fine. But there's something about human voice that builds trust and honesty. And what happens is that honesty increases your exposure. And the bottom line for that is when it comes time to promote a product or a service, people will know what, like what, and trust you so you can then, build that relationship, service your listeners. Make sure that you use your RSS feed and post to as many podcast directories as possible, providing you with even more exposure. You want to list your podcast in as many directories as you can, because that's where advertisers and listeners are going to find podcasts. So, check them. I mean, the top ones are there. Yeah, of course, Amazon Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple, all those other, but there are a lot of other smaller directories that you can add your RSS feed to, that someone may come across in, another area, another space. And, it's just, you want to be able to be found wherever. So if you're on a hosting platform, as I am with Buzzsprout, it will give you a list of, 5, 10, 15 directories that if you're not listed on, you can apply to. And guess what? It is free. It is free, free, free. And you guys know that free is my favorite F word. And last but not least, please, please repurpose your podcast episodes into blog posts or somewhere that you can get more SEO, search engine optimization. You should repurpose your audio podcast into a blog post, which is what I do on the Delaware Blogger Podcast on my Del Blogger blog. Yep. I know a lot of people don't like to write, but you can sign up for those transcription services. You can use, Otter AI to create show notes. You can even transcribe notes from your smartphone, which is what I do, is I have my smartphone, I listen to the audio and it transcribes, and then I clean it up. Because there are people in your audience who want to consume your content, but they don't have time at that time, but you may have said something and they want to go back and check the notes. Maybe there's a link to an event or a giveaway. Have those show notes. Turn those show notes into a blog post. And if someone doesn't want to read a blog post, they don't have the bandwidth to sit and read a blog post, then they have the option of listening. So on this episode of 326, yeah, we're getting there. These are just a few ways to use your podcast for brand promotion. Make sure that your topic or your niche is relevant to the audience that you are targeting, not who I'm targeting, or Jim, or Rogan, whomever out there. I always drop his name and I shouldn't. But anyway, you want to be able to do that so that you're positioning yourself as the expert in whatever the topic you are providing. You're providing free and valuable information. You're building trust with your audience. Use those directories. Find all those podcast directories to add your RSS feed to. I don't care if it's only 2 people that are listening from that directory. That's 2 more that you had. And repurpose your podcast episodes into blog posts. So those are just my 5 tips on ways to use your podcast for brand promotion. And if there's anything that I said today that is of interest to you, please make sure you share it with your family, your friends, your bae, and your boo too. And if there's a topic that you want me to discuss, send an email to info@ablakeenterprises.com. And don't forget, you can find and follow me on all my social media platforms, including my blog and my vlog on YouTube, by using the Linktree ID A Blake Enterprises. So thank you for listening to today's episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast, and share this with your family, your friends, your bae, and your boo too. And until the next time, stay smart, stay safe, and stay social, because I will see you in cyberspace. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger, wishing you and yours a beautifully blessed day. Bye-bye.